everyone. So, 2019 marks 20 years of adaptive sports. What does that mean? It means that I have participated in adaptive sports since 1999 for 20 years. And honestly, when I think about that, I can't believe that it went that fast. I can't believe I have participated in sports for that long. It still feels like it was just yesterday when 1999 was here and one of my physical therapists asked my parents and me if I would be interested in joining the Children's Lightning Wheels wheelchair track and field team. And it really does feel like it was just yesterday. So when I think and be like, oh my God, it's 20 years. And I realized that at one of the track meets, it's the third meet of the season, but it's the second qualifying meet. And it's my favorite meet of all of them, I think, because of the connection that I have to it. And it's a lot of fun to go to that one. It's called the Masons Meet. And it's just so much fun with all the volunteers and seeing some other teams that you don't get to see throughout the year. But I went up to my mom and I'm like, Mom, this meet marks 20 years. Like, this was my first meet, and it marks 20 years. I was originally going to do a video earlier this year, but timing just never seemed right. And I also had a different plan for this video, but it wasn't going well. So I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to talk, and I'm going to bring out some items that remind me of the 20 years. And going by talking about Masons, every year when you participate in the Masons games, you get a little trophy, which I have in my room. I have many of them, and then they also get used. When I was younger, they gave out a medal for each event that you did. So I have a lot of medals over the years. They're upstairs in my room as well. But I do have some of the certificates, the participation certificates that they used to give us. And this one is from 2018, last year. I don't know where 2019 is. But last year I had 4 golds. I was supposed to do archery as well, but I decided not to because it was a long day already. And but the 4 golds were in my 3 field events and then in table tennis. And then here's my 2017 one, nice and gold. They don't have the list of awards on here. And then here's my 2016 one, and then my 2011. This one has my one gold. Only one? Wait, I'm confused. I only participated in one event. Yeah, I don't remember why. Well, anyways, that's something I did not realize, that I only did one event that may have been college open house that weekend. That might have been it. But yeah, I mean, Masons was always fun. I always have interesting stories to tell, especially in 2006, where my shirt got stuck in my tire of my track chair in the middle of my 200-meter race. It was the race that I needed to qualify for nationals, and it just got stuck and so I was on the track, I was stuck, but I did not quit. There's the one thing I have to say is I didn't quit. I didn't. I got it unstuck, really unstuck, and I could see one of the coaches and someone else was ready to run on the track to see what was wrong, but I got it unstuck, and then I just kept going. But I still ended up going to nationals, which was Tampa that year. So over the years, I have participated in 12 junior nationals, 3 of them being in New Jersey. My first one was actually in New Jersey, and I actually have the badge that we were given that year. Every junior nationals, we get a badge so that people know that you're an athlete or an official or a coach or a parent. This one was my athlete one. He says athlete right there. There's the picture. And at the time, the junior nationals were called the National Junior Wheelchair Championships. That was before I think they opened it up to all people with different physical disabilities. Because now it's called the Adaptive Sports Junior Nationals, when it also used to be called National Junior Disability Championships when I was still a junior athlete. Which was always fun. I don't remember too much about my first nationals except opening ceremonies when I couldn't push myself around the track. So one of the coaches had two of the older members of the team push me around the track, which I thought was amazing. My mom always said I looked like the princess, and I was like, okay. I was waving to the crowd while they pushed me. And then I remember them saying, okay, do you have it now, when we were close to the end? And I was like, yeah, I have it now. I can do it now. Yeah, I can do it now. I was 8 years old, I mean. But yeah, that's really all I remember of my first nationals. But I have so many memories of all the nationals that I've gone to. I've gone to 12. I missed a few due to injuries. 2004, I had a broken leg. 2005, my shoulder completely gave out on me. I was ready to, I had one meet that I needed to qualify, and I was ready, and then Friday morning I woke up and my shoulder was in excruciating pain. Like, I couldn't lift it, I couldn't do anything with it, but I still went to the meet to support my teammates. I was bummed that I didn't get to go to Tampa, but I got to go to Tampa the following year. So three of the events, nationals, were in New Jersey, 2001, 2008, and 2015. But before I talk about 2015, because that was actually my last junior national, but I want to do that at the end. So exactly what did I participate in my sports? I did track and field, table tennis, and archery. And for a couple years, I believe 2009 to 2010 or 2011, I did fencing as well. But track, field, table tennis, and archery were really my main go-to. Fencing was too, but along the way, it slowly went and left. I had a lot of fun doing fencing. It was interesting. I was the saber. I loved the saber. My nickname was the slasher. It was so much fun getting to just hit with the saber. And with the saber, like, you can hit anywhere from the head to the torso. So it was a lot easier for me to handle that, and the handle was nicer. So it was a lot of fun doing fencing. Track and I had our moments. We weren't exactly pals. It wasn't my go-to event, but I still had a lot of fun doing it. I love doing relays, where you have to push and then tag your teammate. I was always 90% the lead off, and it was so much fun getting to do that. It was so much fun getting to start the relay. I anchored once, which to me was seems like the easiest because then you didn't have to worry about tagging anyone. But when I was younger, we used to have to go out of the lane to tag the next person. But as I got older, they decided to change it where we're in different lanes, which made it a lot easier. Either way, I loved the relays. It was just so much fun. But then around 2009, 2010, I was having health issues on the track. Breathing was not the greatest thing happening on the track. In Chicago in 2010, I actually had an episode after my 200 meters where I had to go to the first aid because I was overheated. I had a headache. It was bad. So that was the last time I ever did anything more than 100 meters. 100 meters was enough for me. And then when my junior athlete career ended, so did my track career. Do I miss it? There are moments when I go and watch track where I'm like, oh, that would be my race. I would be with those girls. Oh, I miss doing relays. Yeah, there are moments where I'm like, should I go back? But then I remember going into the chair and I'm like, no. It was time to say goodbye to track. It was time. We had our fun, but it was time. But my favorite one of my favorites is field. I absolutely love field. I always had great technique. I was always complimented on my technique, especially for archery. For javelin. And it was just always so much fun. And I have my own field chair now. In the picture right there, you can see it's when I got the field chair. And here's the picture of me in the field chair. It was so much fun. I love field, and I still do field. I actually now have my own javelin and my own discus. I'm still waiting on my shot put. But I love field. It's so much fun. It's so, to me, relaxing. I can breathe during field. And then originally for table tennis, I think it was 2006. A lot of things happened in 2006. Is when I started doing table tennis, which was to give me an extra event to go towards nationals. But I ended up falling in love with it, and I'm actually pretty good at it. I remember in Arizona in 2012, I was the only female in the wheelchair, and I came in second out of everybody. At least in the division that I was in, because I think there were a few divisions, but I came in second in my division that we were this first half, and I came close beating the first place guy. So close. We went to game 5. I was so close. But it was fun. 2012 was a lot of fun for table tennis. But overall, I just love table tennis, and I still do it. And it seems like it slowly went down in the junior sports world, but I'm gonna try and get it back. If you are interested in any adaptive sports, please check the links down below on how you can get involved, whether it's participating, whether it's just coming out to watch, or you want to be a coach, or you want to be volunteers. Make sure you check it out. And we definitely need more athletes. We definitely need more volunteers. We definitely need more coaches. We just definitely need more athletes, like I said. But table tennis was definitely. In 2011 in Saginaw Nationals, I actually got the Spirit of Excellence Award. Which leads me to this one, which is the Junior Nationals. This was when, because now it's called Adaptive Sports USA, but previously it was called Wheelchair and Ambulatory Sports USA, the group that we are all a part of, the big group that Children's Lightning-Wheelz is a part of. I actually got another Spirit of Excellence Award for archery. In 2013 in Minnesota, because I scored 400 points, which I don't know how I did it. It was a good day. 400 points, because it was just overall, everything went well. Yeah, it's fun. It's nice getting awards, but that's not why I do it. But it's nice getting it. Yeah, this was fun. 2013. But yeah, archery was also another sport that I wanted to add to my list of sports, just to get more energy, especially since track was slowly going away from my list of sports I needed more to go to, but it ended up being a great idea. Here is a picture of me participating in archery. For archery, since I have not great balance and when I hold the bow up, I fall right over. I actually have to get strapped around so that it could hold me up. That was another issue with track, was I had to be strapped up so that I wasn't leaning forward. That hurt my insides and lungs. But that was a lot of fun. Archery is a lot of fun. This year I didn't practice at all, but I did really well for sports. And then, speaking of Spirit of Excellence Awards, one of my proudest moments, or moments where I'm definitely honored, was when I received the first ever Spirit of Excellence Award at the Lightning-Wheelz Invitational meet in 2006. Telling you, a lot of things happened in 2006. This one was definitely one of my highlights, is because it's in memory of a former Lightning-Wheelz who I didn't know, but doesn't matter. The reason you get this award is the person this is dedicated for was a hard worker, and even though she wasn't the best, she pushed herself and tried her best. And that's what I always have done. I mean, I knew I wasn't the best in track. I knew I wasn't always the best in field or archery or table tennis or anything I've done. But I always pushed my hardest. I've always did my hardest. And it was an honor and a surprise, actually, to get this. It was actually the first one that I ever gave out. And I'm still today grateful for getting this. It's still one of my favorites and will always be my favorite award to get. And now it's called the Extra Effort Award, and it's not only in memory of the former lightning wheel, but it was also in memory of the woman who actually gave this to me, who was a lightning wheel parent. She passed away a few years ago, and here is a picture of that day when I got the award, and she gave me the award. It was definitely, she was always supportive of me. She always knew how hard she always knew how hard I pushed myself. She saw it every day at practice because she was there with her daughter. And to know that she thought of me as the first person to get this award really makes me look at this before bed every night as a memory in her, as a memory in the other woman, and it just always makes me think of her. So this will always be my number one award that I'll ever, no other award will ever come close to this one. Yeah, this one will always be my favorite, just because of the story behind it. Yeah, that's emotional right there. But yeah, I mean, I don't do, like I said, I don't do the sports to get recognized. I do it to meet the people that I've met all the years. I owe everything to the Children of the Lightning Wheels. They're now a Paralympic sports club. If it wasn't for the Lightning Wheels, if it wasn't for the coaches, if it wasn't for my teammates or my opponents, the competitors, the officials, the parents, everyone else who had anything to do with adaptive sports, I would not be who I am today. And I wholeheartedly say that because I've been doing this for 20 years. 20 years. And not many people can say that. Not many people are lucky enough to have people in their lives that support you or support me like they have. They may have only been doing it for 5 or 10 or so on. I've been doing this since I was 6 years old, and honestly, I would not be who I am if it wasn't for adaptive sports. So that leads me to my final year in 2015 was very emotional because I was finishing college that year, but that was not the main thing. It was my final year as a lightning wheel. But we always say, once a lightning wheel, always a lightning wheel. You could be retired from the lightning wheels or sports for 40, 50 years, but you're always going to be a lightning wheel. Even the Paralympians who have come from the sports program always say if it wasn't for the lightning wheels, they would not be Paralympians. And this is a memory from my final year, which happened to be in New Jersey, which I thought was amazing. My first nationals was in New Jersey, the middle nationals was in New Jersey, and then my final one was in New Jersey. And it was just great because my family got to come out and watch me at my last junior nationals. And this was my gift from the team, was the hat from that season, and they all signed it. All my teammates and my coaches. 2 of my coaches who have been, well, they've all been there since the beginning, but 2 of my coaches actually wrote long things on here, especially the head coach who wrote I'm okay and I'm good, because that used to be my thing in the gym program. I would always fall and I'd say, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. This will always be another one of my cherished things because it reminds me of the good times. It reminds me of all the teammates that I've had the honor of being teammates with, especially that last year. I've had so many teammates over the years. And then I also have a shirt that some of the officials and some of the coaches that I've had the honor of knowing over the years signed. But even though I am no longer a junior athlete, I still participate in adult sports, and I still go to every meet that I've gone to over the years. The Wiki-Wheelz Invitational. I only do field there, but I will help any way I can after the morning session. And then same at the Tri-State meets and Mason's meets and then the Burke meets. I will forever be grateful for Adaptive Sports and Adaptive Sports USA and Wheelchair and Ambulatory Sports USA and Children's Wiki-Wheelz and Children's Specialized Hospital and all the coaches and all my teammates and all my competitors and all the officials and the parents and everybody involved. And I forgot to mention one more thing, or the Lucky Ducky. In 2009, we actually got a mascot. We found one of the coaches found a rubber duck. Here he is, and the Lucky Ducky, and he became our mascot. And I think now if you count every duck in the family, we have like over 100 ducks in the family. It's one crazy family. 20 years have gone by, and I am so grateful for the 20 years. Again, without Adaptive Sports, without Children's Lightning, without all my teammates, all my best friends, all my lifelong friends that I'm going to have because of Adaptive Sports, I would not be who I am. I would not be on YouTube right now. So I wanted to do this video to thank everybody for all the memories, and here's to another 20 years. Thank you.